Hello everyone, I am Miss Wick, one of the art teachers at South Lexington, and we are going to continue making our videos every day so that you can participate in our art drawings. Now this drawing again is inspired by Muffalo Potato, which is one of the links that I had shared last week in our pet portrait Art Smart Challenge. So today's Art Smart drawing is going to be of a fish. Now this fish can be turned into whatever kind of fish that you would like, but I call this a goldfish because of the details that I'm going to add at the end. So if you would like to add different details and turn it into something else, that's absolutely great. Also, at the end of your drawing, when you are all finished, please have your parents help you take a photo and send me or Miss Beck your drawing through Class Dojo messages. So your parent can get on Class Dojo, go to the messages, find Miss Wick or Miss Beck, and take a photo of your drawing or even of yourself holding the drawing. We would love to see you as we miss you guys so much. All right, guys, our drawing today of our fish, again, is going to be made out of letters and numbers. Since in kindergarten, we work a lot with these letters and numbers. And sometimes we'll use special kinds of lines that we've been working on as well. So you'll recognize those. All of our letters and numbers are made up of our type of lines, but sometimes it's easier to draw them as letters and numbers. Sometimes it's easier to draw as our line types. All right, guys, are you ready to get started? Just grab a piece of paper or something to draw with, and let's get to it. All right, kindergarten, today's fish drawing at the end will look something kind of like this before any details have been added. So I'm just going to move this out of the way, grab my clean sheet of paper, and I'm going to hold it just like this, side to side, where it's long ways or sleeping. This paper type, the way I'm holding it so it's longer, is also called landscape style, so that we can see more side to side. I'm going to be drawing with a marker today just so it shows up nice and well. And let's go ahead and start our steps. Our first step is to draw a big letter C, capital letter C, right in the middle of your paper like this. Big letter C, or a curved line. We call this in art a big curve like C. Next, we're going to be drawing a big capital S right beside our letter C, so it is touching like this. I'm going to start my letter S at the top. S's are also made up of these curves. Watch this. I'm going to go in, make it skinny, and curve it out. Make a big curve and connect to get this funky shape like this. This is going to be the body of our fish. Next, right at the top, where our C and our S touch, make this point. We are going to draw a little baby letter C like this. Let it touch the tip of his body, and this, of course, is going to be his tail fin. Right at the end of our letter C, instead of drawing another S, we're going to draw the number 3 like this. Boing, boing. This is our bumpy line that we've practiced in the past to make that letter 3. And here we have our fish's tail. Next, we're going to start on details for your eyes. We're going to draw our eyes as the number 6. Start at the top and just curve it around like a swirl, almost like a cinnamon swirl line, swirly line we've been talking about. I'm going to leave some space in between and draw my other eye. Trying to make it the same size, making it match the best that I can. Our next detail is going to be our fish mouth, or I call these our fish lips. Our fish lips are going to be made with the number 3 again. In between your eyes, right below, got some space. I'm going to draw the number 3. They're bumpy lines. Mwah! Fish lips. Underneath our fish's body, we're going to draw a big letter U for our first fin. start somewhere along his side, the side of his body here, and go you. Another curve. Let's do another one that's a little bit smaller because the second fin would be in the background, behind our fish just a little bit. We make it smaller to show the size. If it's bigger, it usually looks like it's closer to us. If it's smaller, it's farther away, like this. Little U. Next, we need the fin that's on top of our fish. And this is going to look like the lowercase letter N. We start with our straight line, like our race car line, little bitty bitty, on top of your fish. And add our curve to finish our N. And finally, we're going to be adding some gills, which is how a fish breathes. That's how fish can be underwater. They don't breathe air like regular animals do. Those are going to be little tiny letter C's out behind your fish's eyes, like this. C, C. Since our fish is breathing underwater, we often see bubbles. So we're going to use circles, O's, or zeros. And just like our fins, I love to use different sizes. Some can be small, some can be bigger, to make our picture interesting. All right, guys, these are the basic steps to be drawing our goldfish or our fish. I'm going to start by adding some details next. Now, you don't have to draw these, but it always makes our picture much more interesting, and we can see exactly where our fish is. Since we've been talking about pets and pet portraits, I'm going to be adding my fish into a fish bowl to see where he lives. He's going to be in a bowl like you would see in your house, like an aquarium. So I'm going to start, if you'd like to draw the bowl, I'm going to start at the very bottom and draw a big, long race car straight line like we were talking about before. I'm going to leave a little bit of space on the side here and go almost all the way across the page. Then I'm going to do another one up above the fish. Scoot my paper so you can see. Fit them in that little space in between my lines. I'm going to draw a diagonal. If you remember, diagonal lines are lines that are not quite flat, not quite up and down, but kind of in between. They go across like this. I'm going to add from here going in toward the fish, diagonal. Other side, in toward the fish, diagonal. And then I'm going to add big, giant letter C's around to connect my lines like this. Letter C. Woo. And on this side, I'm going to make it match. That's also called symmetry. We want to make it look the same on the other side, except this time I'm going to do a backward C like this. Woo. Connect. I'm going to add more details inside of my fishbowl here. I'm going to put some rocks at the bottom, and to do this, I'm going to start on one side and just add all kinds of bumps and curves as I go across like this. Boing, 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 boing. Not really trying to do a certain line on purpose. I'm just kind of letting my marker bounce around to make it look jagged and not so perfect. I can even go back and add some polka dots to show the rocks. Next, I'm going to add some seaweed or some grass inside like this. Make my line, again, not trying to make it a perfect straight race car line, letting it kind of bounce around a little bit like this. Ooh, and bringing it back down. Ooh. Might do one that's a little smaller. Ooh. And let's add some to the other side. Ooh. Woo, woo, woo. Just let your pencil or marker, whatever you're drawing with, bounce around. So it's not perfect. It'll make it look just like grass. All right, guys, very last step. You can use your crayons or whatever else you have at home to add some colors. I might add some orange to make my goldfish look like an orange fish. You can make it another color if you'd like. You can make it a red fish if you want to. We could use our rainbow colors to decorate this whole picture if we want to. I might color green for our seaweed grass. I might use some brown to color in my rocks at the bottom. Maybe some blue for my water. But you can decide. I'm not going to make you do a certain color scheme today. We'll look at more colors on another video. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed making our goldfish or fish today. I cannot wait to see what you all draw. Please have your parents help send in your photos of your drawings or even you holding your drawings through Class Dojo messages. Bye, guys.